So, do y'all remember a McDonald's worker? This happened about a few months ago. She shot, well, she didn't shoot, but she stabbed her manager multiple times while at work after somebody ordered a number one with large fries and an orange soda. And she ended up killing this woman who had about six, seven kids. A woman who went to work every single day, mind her business, and as far as the news said, like she went to work every day. She was the manager. She started years ago. She'd been there for a while, and she worked up. And they left her in charge of the what they call the Negroes. And when you work in jobs like that and you're in charge of the Negroes, a lot of times it's very dangerous. And when I say Negroes, I don't mean like the color of your skin. You know, anybody could be a Negro. You know, these people, you know, we try to separate ourselves. You know, the good black folks on the planet and the good white folks and the good Indian folks and the good Hispanic folks. We all try to separate ourselves from those type of people. But sometimes they need a job too. So unfortunately, we have to work with them every once in a while. And this case is it's a very crazy case. I mean, at first they thought the girl was so nuts she was incompetent to even stand trial. Because they was thinking like, who in the world would go to work with a knife and stab their manager over 30, 40 times and then go home and go eat breakfast? Who would do that? But when I show you the video and the image of this girl, you will understand why. Let's go.
For the people, P74099.
Christopher Urban, P1013 on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, Josh Jones appearing on behalf of Ms. Muhammad, who stands to my right. Ms. Muhammad, please stand. If you can identify yourself.
I am Afeni Badu Muhammad.
Your Honor, if I can just have 1 second, I'm sorry. Your Honor, thank you. I just wanted to update her.
And you know what else I'm tired of too? I'm not even gonna lie. I gotta be honest. You know, this is the Deeply Disgusted show. This is where we're gonna express our thoughts and we're gonna be honest. And we're gonna tell people the truth. I know the truth is hard. It's hard for a lot of people, especially when they're in depression. But we have to tell the truth. I don't like regular black Americans with Muslim names. I don't like regular black Americans with Muslim names if they don't really and truly live by the Muslim faith. I don't like black Americans. I'm talking about black Americans. They have no heritage in Nigeria. They have no heritage they don't even follow the lineage of Africa because, you know, that's the original Muslims. You know, that's what the Africans are, the original Muslims. You know, I just don't like it. And I'm not afraid to say it because you know what? People they're gonna do whatever they want and they're gonna destroy a culture. You know, Americans are very good at that. They destroy lots of cultures. You know, they destroyed the dread culture. Dreads was a spiritual thing. A lot of times you go to these college campuses and you see like a professor with long dreads. You're like, Dad, you read 1,000 books? I'm not saying that there's not dread dudes in Jamaica that's gangster, but let me tell you, they followed their culture before they became gangster. In America, you got these young dudes, no culture, no nothing. They just following Lil Wayne.
Very good. We're here for a review hearing. This matter was referred to the Forensic Center for competency. The court is in receipt of a report dated September 17th, 2025, and it's my understanding that both the defense and the prosecution stipulate to the September 17th, 2025 report, which opines that Ms. Muhammad is competent to stand trial Is that correct, on behalf of the people?
That's correct, Judge.
On behalf of the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good.
She's very competent. You don't need. Listen, she's competent. Try her and give her life and get this over with. It's too much tax money being used for these crazy degenerates. There is too much tax money being used for these crazy degenerates. I'm tired every year. I gotta owe this and owe that and owe this and owe that because of y'all. Because of y'all. Y'all don't know that y'all paying for this? I know I'm in the stock market. I'm a pretty stock professional, I could say. And I know that municipal bonds, if y'all don't know, they pay for a lot of like the school in your community. They pay for the playgrounds. They pay for the courts. They pay for anything municipal. That's municipal bonds. It's not always the tax money, but let me tell you something. We paying a lot for these degenerates, let me tell you. And I'm tired of it.
So this matter needs to be set for a preliminary examination. A date certain, we picked November 14th at 8 a.m. for that hearing. My understanding, there's going to be 3, maybe 4 witnesses, is that correct?
That's right, Judge.
So we should be able to conclude.
At McDonald's, it's going to be 3 or 4 witnesses at McDonald's. Who found those? It should be at least 30. It's McDonald's. It's McDonald's.
In one day.
Yes.
And I will set this matter for a motion date prior to that hearing. I know there's some preliminary matters that both sides wanted to have addressed by the court. We'll set that date at November 12th at 1 o'clock. And Mr. Jones, if that date doesn't work for you or that time doesn't work for you, I indicated that we would.
Look at our black woman. I pray for them every day. They need it. Look at our black woman. It's really a shame. Really a shame to what we as a community has come to. The things that they celebrate, it's disgusting. And it's not all the black women. You see, when you say black woman, all of them turn around like, who, me? Because, they all call themselves this crayon color. I don't know why. Even the ones that actually have culture, they call themselves a crayon color. But all I'm saying is the disgust. What happened to our black woman? Look at this. Look at this ugly little beetle. Look at this ugly beetle. And the girl naturally is probably not an ugly girl, but the way they live, the lifestyle and the energy they hold around them, it starts to shape them. It starts to change their facial structure and make them ugly. Me, I wouldn't touch this girl with your cock. But let me tell you this. 2 o'clock in the morning, I might give her a chance. But, I'm just playing. But I'm just saying, the girl is disgusting. And there's men out there. There's men out there that actually sees chicks like this and try to get their number and talk to them after and before they've been stabbing people multiple times. And it's very sad. Very sad. But we gonna get into some more details about Beetleface over here, and we're gonna talk about the details into her case. Yeah, we're gonna get into this one a little bit because I did a video a while ago. If you go on my channel, you scroll all the way down. The McDonald's worker gone nuts. That's me. Yeah, I did a nice video on her, and I'm about to do another one. And this one is gonna be a great one. Let's get to it.
She's a bully. I'm telling you. She's a bully. She could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that is going to catch up to her.
You might remember this woman, Afeni Muhammad, the McDonald's employee who apparently went on a rant that prosecutors say turned deadly when she was accused of killing her manager at a McDonald's following an argument. Well, now a major decision has flipped this case, and we're going to break down what it means for what comes next in court with a criminal defense attorney. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. This all started with a rant. It was raw, it was angry, and it was all over Instagram.
She's a bully. I'm telling you. She's a bully. Somebody will have to do.
That's a serious threat. That's a serious threat, especially towards somebody you have to see every single day. This should have been seen before this girl came to work. Somebody should have reported this before this girl came to work that day, because they could have stopped this all. Somebody like this that talking about a manager online with the McDonald's uniform on, and nobody didn't. Yo, if I see somebody on Instagram with the McDonald's uniform on and they're saying, yo, I'm going to tear my manager up, wait till I go to work the next day, I will probably report them. People need to stop just looking at social media as just entertainment and start looking at it as like a policing app. And they need to start reporting these people.
Do something about that. It's not funny. It's not fair. It isn't funny at all. So, she could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that is going to catch up to her.
So yeah,
I try to stay away from anybody that have blue hair or red hair. That's just me. That's my thing. That's why I'm alive today. I try to stay away from anybody that has blue hair or red hair, especially when they look like that that red pumpkin look, like that pumpkin look, because they trying to mimic that kind of like Halloween evil spirit type of, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm going at? I try my best to stay away from these type of people because I know they are not right in the head because of the dye that seeps into their brain cells.
you might remember this woman, 27-year-old Afeni Muhammad, who we have talked about here before on Sidebar. That was her, apparently venting online about her manager at a McDonald's in East Point, Michigan. And hours later, that same manager, Jennifer Harris, was dead. And now, after months of silence...
Look at this. Look at that. R.I.P. to baby girl right here. Look at this. And the woman was a nice looking colored woman. She's a nice looking colored woman. Look at her. She has colors in her hair too, but I mean, it's more like, kind of stylish and elegant. Like, it's not like she got neon streaks going through her head. Like, this woman raised multiple kids and worked at McDonald's. You tell me if that's easy. You go have 6, 7 kids and you tell me working at McDonald's, taking care of 6, 7 kids. Let me know if that's easy now. Let me tell you something. That's her choices she made in life. I'm not saying that, she should have been getting paid more. No. The choices you make in life guides you. I don't know her choice of life. Maybe she got pregnant early at a young age and, she probably couldn't do the best thing she could or, fulfill her dreams, I'm sure McDonald's is not her dreams. But because she made these bad choices in life, it affected her all the way until her death. And that's what we need to think about. You see, y'all thinking about it in a way like, oh, nah, man, she does bad time and just, oh, man, they just hired the wrong person. No, everything happens for a reason. Everything in this universe is a line. The choices you make, even though it's so minuscule of, a woman just getting pregnant, having 6 kids, she got a baby daddy, he don't really make much money, so she got to work at McDonald's and take care of these kids. And it all resulted in her death. You know why? Do you know why it resulted in her death? It resulted in her death because she had to work with low degenerate Negroes.
And questions about what would happen next in this case, there is finally a new development that we have to talk about, one that clears the way for what comes next in court. Now, we're going to get to that, but
look at this fool. Look at this fool. these are the people you see walk around every day in New York City. And I'm scared of them. These are the crazy maniacs. They have all type of colored hair. They all think they're he's and she's, and when they're the opposite sex, you got people in New York that think they are cats and dogs, and New York they was trying to pass a law to allow it. Them Democrats would rather you think distorted and rather you confused than you awake and aware and vote with common sense. Democrats don't want no common sense voters, let me tell you. Because if they had voters that was logical and had common sense, I think the Democrat Party would be demolished with. I personally think so.
First, we got to rewind. This is one of those stories that actually started on social media, and it spiraled into something that no one could have imagined. On July 10th, police say that Afeni Muhammad, an employee at the McDonald's,
What in the world is that? I'm so sorry I keep stopping. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I like to talk. What is this? A sick goldfish? Is this a sick goldfish? Because if it is, I'm throwing it straight in the toilet.
9 Mile Road got into some sort of argument with her manager, Jennifer Harris, after she said she was sent home early. According to investigators, Muhammad left, sat in her car for a while, and then came back with a knife. So when we talk about premeditation, let's think about that. When officers arrived, what did they find? Harris had been reportedly stabbed up to 15 times. A customer with a gun had stepped in to stop Muhammad from fleeing. Now, Harris was rushed to the hospital. She tragically...
A customer with a gun. What do I say all the time? A customer with a gun. Self-defense is mandatory. You see states like New Jersey, New York, and all these Democratic states in LA that don't want you to hold a gun by going to get a gun at Walmart. You got to go through all these steps and jump ropes, and you got to do 8,000 flips just to get a gun to protect your own family. When you don't have a felony, you got to go through 1,000 steps. You lived for 18 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 60, and you was responsible enough to not get a felony, and they're still saying you got to jump through hoops. This is what they don't want. They don't want people to step in to fight crime. They want you to die, and they want you to wait on police to come. They want you to die, and they want you to wait on police to come. This McDonald's, not worker, but the McDonald's customer took the gun out and had to point it at the girl and said, "Don't move." If he didn't have a gun, she would have escaped, stabbed somebody else. It would have been 10 people stabbed if that customer didn't have a gun. Now, what do y'all say for that for all y'all anti-gun right people out there? What do you got to say? Nothing at all.
Died later from her injuries. Horrific case. And on July 11th, when we talk about what's going on in the court process, Muhammad made her first court appearance for her arraignment. This is where detectives laid out what they say happened in chilling detail.
Prior to the stabbing, Muhammad was sent home by Harris for not performing her work duties and told Harris, "I'll be back." Muhammad was arrested on scene and the knife was recovered. Muhammad admitted that she intended to kill Harris and stated that after she was sent home, she drove to a nearby park, decided to come back and stab Harris with a knife that she had inside of her vehicle. When Muhammad returned to stab Harris, she entered the back entrance with a hooded mask over her face in an attempt to conceal her identity and attempted to flee the scene after the stabbing, but was stopped by an armed customer.
So Muhammad was charged with first-degree premeditated murder and carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent. Now, she's also been...
Wow. Do y'all know what first-degree premeditated murder is? I bet some of y'all out there have no clue. Some of y'all out there have no That's why y'all do the things y'all do. The Democrat Party have spoiled y'all. They gave y'all cashless bells and let y'all out after smashing somebody upside the head. They spoiled y'all. But when you step into states that really handle their law, you'll realize that premeditated first degree murder, you're gonna grow old in jail. Let's just say that.
Charged as a habitual offender. What does that mean? Well, it's a designation that stems seemingly from a prior stabbing conviction in Virginia. We're going to talk
She stabbed somebody.
about that too. Her bond was also set at $25 million cash or surety. Strict conditions if she were to be released, so that includes GPS monitoring, drug.
This girl works at McDonald's. This girl don't even have $2,000 on her.
And alcohol testing, no contact with the victim's family, and a ban on returning to that particular McDonald's. Now, if you're a fan of Sidebar, if you're a fan of what we do here at Law and Crime, then you know.
Wait a minute. She's banned from that particular Walmart? What about the other Walmarts? We can't have this girl walking around and going, not Walmart, McDonald's. What about the other McDonald's? This girl is not safe to be in society. She can't help but to stab people. She's a real stabber. I don't know if y'all ever met real stabbers. Like, a lot of people are not, they pretend that they from the hood, they wear hood clothing and they act it. But they didn't grow up in it. Y'all don't know what real stabbers are? Let me tell you. A real stabber could destroy a whole night of partying.
The actual basis that you rely on for the default.
Your Honor, based upon my observations of the case and in reviewing the case, specifically the police reports, and then again my observations and interacting with Ms. Muhammad, I need to check those two boxes. Meaning, I need to make sure that, one, she is competent to stand trial, and then two, that there's not an issue in regards to responsibility or culpability.
So this meant that the case would pause while doctors, evaluators, would determine whether Muhammad really understood her charges, whether or not she could assist in her own defense. We actually spoke with forensic psychiatrist Dr. Daniel Bober about what evaluators look for in these situations, what it really means to be competent to stand trial. This is what he had to say.
Competency is a moving target. You know, someone can be competent one week and they can be incompetent the next week. So in the United States, competency is determined by a U.S. Supreme Court case, U.S. v. Dusky. And essentially what that case says is that you have to have the ability to work with your attorney, to collaborate with them, and have a rational and factual understanding of the charges against you. So there are so many different reasons. I watched the Instagram video that she had posted prior to the incident, and you clearly have someone who has poor impulse control, is emotionally dysregulated, has escalating anger, repeated frustration, feels powerless over her.
Yeah, man. And these are the girls that you see on Instagram, and you'll send them a message like, "Hey, cutie, I like those glasses, and I like that McDonald's hat. I like those glasses, and I like that McDonald's hat." And she'll send you a message back like, "You do? Nobody ever said that to me. You want to meet up tonight? You want to go on a date with me?" Like, oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, I get out of McDonald's. I get out of work today at 8 p.m. Come pick me up. You go pick her up, and you let this psycho into your car. You take her on a date. You take her home at the end of the night thinking you about to get some snatch. And then next thing you know, she get upset about something you have no idea. Now you're trying to get her out of your apartment. Now she don't want to leave. Now you got to call police. You see where it's coming? You see where the story going? These girls are not to be trusted. You have to pick your females wisely. If you don't, it literally literally just you trying to bust a good nut could wind up in you being alive the next day, or unfortunately, you being dead the next day. Think smarter, fellas. I hope this girl get life. I hope they throw her under the prison. And rest in peace to that beautiful mother and all her kids that worked hard. Oh man. Like and subscribe, and thank y'all for watching. Continue to watch and continue to make those comments, and thank y'all for engaging. I think y'all like seeing my face, but I guess that's a whole nother topic, you know.